James Mellon is the spiritual leader of the Global Truth Center, a center for spiritual living in North Hollywood, California. His global intention is to empower people to note that they have it all, not because of what they do, but because of who they are. James is an award-winning playwright and director and has starred on Broadway in such musicals as West Side Story, A Chorus Line, and 42nd Street. He's the artistic director of the Los Angeles-based theater company NoHo Arts Center Ensemble, where he combines his spiritual practice with his love for the artistic expression of live theater. I'm curious to know all about the Global Truth Center.
Well, about 13 years ago, I had just become a minister, and I wanted to open my own church. And I was part of an organization called, at that time, Religious Science International. And there was a lot of concern with the title, because people, every time I'd say I'm a religious science minister, they would ask me about Tom Cruise and say, is that Scientology? And so I think the organization finally decided to change their name, just to be clear, not to say anything against Scientology, but to say that's not what we are or who we are. So they changed their name to Centers for Spiritual Living, which is kind of what we do. We are a religion that was founded by Dr. Ernest Holmes, and his ideology and his philosophy is that we are a religion, a philosophy, but more importantly, a way of life. So I wanted to open my own center and center it around the arts. And so I created, at the time, the NoHo Arts Center for New Thought. And we've since changed it to the Global Truth Center. And the reason for the name change is that I don't want this center to be about this corner of Lancashire and Magnolia in the NoHo Arts District of Southern California. I want to be in touch with all people everywhere. And so the idea here is to create a hub, a place where we can send out our messages. I mean, it's such a, everything is social media. Everything is interconnected now. And so taking all religions, getting to the commonality of all religions, and celebrating what we have in common, as opposed to continually arguing about our differences. I think if everybody ever went to the center of what they believe, they'd find that every religion teaches that God is all there is. The problem is when they start defining God as something specific, when God is everything.
Right.
All people, everywhere. All religion, everywhere.
Exactly. Some people call it God, some people call it love, energy, higher power.
Life force, right, higher power, exactly. Yahweh. Yeah.
Thank you.
When I first became a minister, I felt like I had to keep putting hats on and taking hats off. Okay, now I'm a director. Oh, now I'm a minister. Oh, now I'm speaking on a Sunday. Oh, let me put the hat on, I'm going to direct a play. Now, it's what I always wanted it to be, which is a very fluid understanding of spirituality. Because to be spiritual means, take religion away from it, to be spiritual means to have that spirituality inside of you, that spark of creation come through you, and whether you are christening or baptizing a baby, marrying a couple, or directing a play, it's that energy that's moving through you, and I bring it to everything I do. I attempt to bring it to everything I do. So I love directing plays, I love writing plays, I love acting in plays, and that's using my spark of energy just as much as I love getting up on a Sunday morning and talking and singing. So for me, they were married right from the very beginning. It was me that had to get with the program and stop thinking I had to be a different person here and a different person here and a different person here. Life's much easier when you stop trying to be something you think you're supposed to be and just go with the flow.
It's finding your true inner voice, or like expressing what you're thinking, whether you're doing a certain thing or a different thing, still coming from your gut, your intuition, your creativity.
I heard Meryl Streep say once in an interview, she said, somebody asked her, how do you create all of these characters? And she kind of threw her head back and laughed, and she said, my dear, I am always me in different circumstances. It's who we are, innately. If we can just get back to remembering who we are, life's a lot easier.
My next question is about one of your quotes, which is empowering people to know that they can have it all, not because of what they do, but because of who they are.
Yeah, I'm really glad you pulled that out. I really am. Thank you for highlighting that. Especially this year, I've become so clear on this idea of achievement. I think we live in a world that is all about achievement. We are a culture of overachievers, and we think that achievement makes us something else, makes us bigger. I have twins who just turned 16, and they're in sophomore year of high school, and I work so hard at making sure they know I don't need them to get brilliant grades because I want them to be better than other kids, or I want them to be successful. It's not about that. It's about, are you willing to express from a place of truth? Because if you're willing to express, the achievement is a given. You can't help but achieve when you are expressing. But if you're trying to achieve, your focus is off. You're trying to win. You're trying to get to the end of something, and you're not expressing. So that quote, I do teach people, you can have it all, but not because of what you do, because of who you are. And who you are is a divine creature. You are a divine entity. As Rumi says, you are not just a wave of the ocean. You are the entire ocean in a wave. I think a lot of people want things because it helps them feel better about themselves. It makes them think something better about themselves.
Or they think it will make them feel better.
Yes.
And then they realize that they don't feel better.
Or they might for a little while.
Right.
And then all of a sudden they're back to, this doesn't feel so good anymore either. So the whole thing is, there's a wonderful, Wayne Dyer is a part of this, there's a wonderful movement going on, and it's called 3 Magic Words. I am God. It's heresy in a lot of religions, to say I am God. But the interesting thing is, if you dig beneath all the teachings of the religions, ultimately they're saying that. So I'm a big proponent of, it's not about the achievement, it's about the expression. I tell my children this, tell me what you love to do and do it. And I promise you, you will succeed at it.
Yes.
Because it can't not happen if you're willing to really express your truest love for life.
Yeah.
How can someone create the time, the money, and the resources they need? Because, of course, we live in a world where most people think they don't have enough time, they don't have enough money, and there are no resources available to them. Right. Okay, so the first thing is, I'm going to get rid of the word create, because we don't have to create it. It's already been created.
Right.
So the real thing is stopping the mind from thinking I don't have enough time. Because let's face it, whatever you believe, that's what shows up.
Yeah.
A person who thinks there's no time is always running out of time. So it's really about, what can I believe and how can I believe it? The truth is, time is eternal. There is enough time for everything and everyone. Time is infinite in scope, right? So the first thing is, it's about changing your mind about those 3 things.
Okay.
So how can I have more time in my life? Look at time in a different way.
Okay.
A, respect it. Choose what you want to do with the time you have, and really make sure you don't waste it, right? It's all there, but we do waste it, and we do occupy ourselves with things we don't want to be doing, and then we run out of time for the things we want to do, and that's annoying, right? As far as money, let's go to money. I teach a course called CPR. core prosperity relief. I have thousands of people who've taken it over the last 2 years. I teach another one coming up in a couple months. It's an online, they call in every morning. It's 30 days. You know, in 21 days you can change a habit. And it's a bad habit to think you have problems with money.
Right.
It's a bad habit to think there's not enough money in the world. Because if you think it, you get it.
Right.
So I spend 30 days with these people because in 21 days I can change the habits they have. In 30 days I can create new neural pathways, which in the brain it's that from the what you want to the demonstration.
Okay.
From the idea to the realized
Reality.
idea. Yes. So so as far as money is concerned, again, it's just a perspective. You have to change your. One of my other quotes is this: if you change your mind about money, money will change its mind about you. There's a lot of money in the world. You just have to be aligned with it mentally. That's money. Resources, same thing. I believe, Ernest Holmes wrote this: if something is destined for you, even if it is in the farthest corner of Africa, if it is destined for you, meaning if you are clear in your mind that it is yours to have, it will find you. Just fine. It's the law of attraction. Same thing with resources. When I pray, when I do spiritual mind treatment, which is affirmative prayer, I will say, here's what I know. I know that everything I need for this to take place is on its way to me right now. Every person I need to know, every financial thing I need to bring in this evolution of this idea, it's all right here, right now, fully realized. And then my mind creates that energy around me, and I start meeting the right people. All of a sudden someone says, you know, you should try boom, boom, boom. I'm like, oh my God, yeah, great idea.
Yes.
That's how it works.
How can someone meet or encounter the right people that will help them make huge quantum leaps into their progress?
Well, again, it's the same answer in terms of the law of attraction, being equal to it in mind. But first you have to be willing.
Okay.
You know how they say, when the student is ready, the teacher appears? Well, I think when the person is ready, the life experience appears too. And you have to consciously and decidedly say to yourself and know within yourself, I'm ready to meet someone who will activate that in me that will change my life. So I really do think it's important to be willing, to be open to it. I'm willing for this to happen. I'm open to it. I very often say to myself, use me. I just say to the universe, use me. Use me for the best, the highest good, the best and the greatest that I have to offer. Use me. And I want the universe to use me. You know, that's why you showed up here.
Right.
Somewhere along the line,
Yes.
all our paths crossed, and
True.
I attracted you here to ask me questions for me to hear the answers. I mean, that's what I believe. That's how I believe this universe works. So I attracted you into my life as someone who brought something bigger out of me, and that's because I'm equal to it, and I'm open to it, and I want to be used. So what I would say to everybody who's listening today, just affirm in yourself, know for yourself, I am ready for whatever is next. I am ready for a bigger picture of me. I am ready for a bigger expression of who I am, and I am ready to mingle with all those people who are just as big and expressing themselves in an amazing way. And you just watch what happens when you say to the universe, I'm ready.
I'm ready.
Here they come. Like they say in West Side Story, when Tony is singing his song, Something's Coming, he's like, there's something due any day, and I don't know what it is, but I just know it's coming.
It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. Something's coming.